Why do I need a real estate agent to help me price my home? This is a great question, and even a more important question to answer. I'm Stewart. I'm a principal broker with eXp Realty, and I've been selling real estate in the Portland metro area for over 20 years, and I like to put my experience out on video so that you can have the benefit of it. So why should you use a broker, an experienced broker, hopefully, to price your house? Let's talk about it. So the first thing I want to share with you is if you're thinking about buying an appraisal. So I recently had a client who was like, I'm just going to pay $500, $700 for an appraisal. He did before we talked and met, and that appraiser came up with a very, conclusive answer to his value. And what I tell people is appraisers are a could it be true value, meaning their job is just to look at some of the local comps, what's sold recently, and kind of come up with a hypothetical number. Now that number may be your value, or it could be somewhere in the range of your value, but it's not going to tell the full story. It's just a data point. The other place a lot of people tend to go is the internet, right? We're looking at Zillow, we're looking at Redfin, we're looking at, all kinds of different websites to try and figure out what is my value? And a lot of times people come and they're like, well, Zillow says $650 and Redfin says $575, and then this website, it's all over the place. And so people get really confused really quickly, and they're like, well, how is this all working? The thing you have to understand is that when you go online, it is an algorithm. That algorithm does not know or take into consideration, do you sit next to power lines? Do you have a busy road nearby? Have you done $100,000 of upgrades and improvements? You just can't judge a book by its cover online. And so Zillow and Redfin and all the other websites are doing the best job they can based on the data that's in the MLS, or in tax records. The challenge with that is, as many of you guys know, if you're in the Portland metro area, is that literally neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block, valuations can swing dramatically by $50,000, $100,000, and those data points will skew the overall numbers. And so a lot of people get on Zillow every month and it's going up and down, up and down, up and down, and sometimes it has big swings. And so you just realize really quickly that maybe something just sold recently nearby that's skewing that data point. Now let's talk about a real estate broker, a trained real estate agent who knows what they're doing, can sit down and go through the MLS. Why is this important? Because this is the data that's inside of our MLS system that shows all the actives, pending, sold, canceled, withdrawns. There is an instinct to experienced brokers that you cannot see when you're getting online to those valuations. We can go into neighborhoods and say, you know what, this neighborhood is superior to this neighborhood because of X. Or this person put in, $50,000 to $100,000 of improvements that dramatically affect how this house is going to be sold. Our job as an agent is to represent and market the houses and get maximum value. And a lot of times we have to go through all the details. In fact, usually when somebody calls me to sell their house, we're talking on the phone for 10, 15 minutes, and I'm asking a huge number of questions because I need to know all the things before I actually come see it. And then when we come see it, and I've done all my homework, sometimes even getting just a lay of the land, all of that factors in. This is a highly, experienced process to get to the point where you can actually price homes. And sometimes homes are in a range. There's no exact pricing because pricing, especially in this market, is insanely fluid, changing all the time. And the data points that come up and the reasons why you might price something one way or the other make a difference. So if you're thinking about selling, it is important to hire an experienced broker. I pride myself on staying up to market trends. I take a deep dive into what the market comps look like for your house. I take in consideration all the things. And so let's talk about that. If you're thinking about selling, I would love to be of service to you. Make it a great day.